So the Jets lose to the Buffalo Bills 32-6. Before I dive into this recap, the first thing I want to say, I hope everything with Bills safety Taylor Rapp is all good. Obviously had to be carted off the field. An ambulance had to come out on the field. Scary, scary scene. I hope everything with him is all good, moving forward. With that said, Robert Saleh won't do it. Nathaniel Hackett won't do it. Woody Johnson definitely won't do it. I feel like I have to apologize here for the New York Jets wasting another one of your Sundays. Right? We all have to work tomorrow. Some of us have school. Another Sunday wasted. Because this team, offensively, is completely inept. It's horrendous. Whatever adjective you want to throw out there, the offense probably fits the bill. It is that bad. It is unwatchable. We are 11 weeks in. We are now entering, by the way, a short week. We get the Miami Dolphins on Black Friday, 3 o'clock kickoff, week 12. The season, we're seeing cracks in the dam here. The season is slipping through our fingers. We're 4-6, and it feels like we're dead in the water. Why? Because the offense is, before the game, right? A lot of people have been comparing the Nathaniel Hackett offense to the Mike LaFleur offense, the offense that we've seen for the past couple of seasons. And people are pointing out, oh, well, hey, look, the LaFleur offense was better, right? They were putting up better numbers, better team rankings. I said, you know what? Let me try to take it a step further and do a little bit more digging. So I went back to 2020. When the Jets finished 2-14 under Adam Gase, and I said, hey, you know what? How did the Jets offense look then? If we compare that offense to this year's 2022 Jets offense led by Nathaniel Hackett here, how do they stack up? And by the way, keep this in mind as well. Keep in mind the comments that Robert Saleh made about that 2020 roster, that 2020 Jets roster, calling them an expansion team. So we're 2.5 years removed from the expansion team. For Saleh, we're 3-4 years in with Joe Douglas. Over $350 million spent since Joe Douglas has taken over this football team. 6 first-round draft picks, 4 draft classes from the expansion team era, right? Let's just call it that. The Adam Gase-led offense with no weapons, with drama, with dysfunction, with players getting hurt, injuries all across the offensive line. Greg Williams was, of course, the defensive coordinator. The Adam Gase-led offense averaged more passing yards per game. And by the way, this is before tonight's game, so these numbers are probably even worse now. The Adam Gase offense averaged 20 more passing yards per game than this year's Hackett-led offense, and more rushing yards. As far as the total points, the Gase-led offense, 15.2. The Hackett, 16 per game. And that number's dropping after tonight's 6-point performance. It is an absolute joke. We went 2-14. So we have had years to build upon, to add to shape and form this roster with tons of cap space, tons of first-round picks. And we are losing 6-32 to the Buffalo Bills in a prime slot here, 4:25 on a Sunday. Getting blown off the field by a division rival, and the Buffalo Bills are humiliating, running around, showboating, taking shots. It's a complete joke. It is a complete. I'm really pumped up to watch this Saleh press conference after I filmed this video to hear that there's going to be no changes made. Right? We heard that there was going to be some changes made this week, none too crazy personnel decisions. Right? We went ahead and cut Michael Carter on a rookie deal to get Izzy Abadakanda involved, right? Is he this? Is he that? We're going to get him involved. He's going to provide a spark. We got reporters talking about him all week. How did he do? He had one opportunity. He had one rushing attempt for 11 yards, and that came in the fourth quarter on the final drive? Makes sense. Did the Jets do anything well tonight offensively? Let's go through the list of their typical struggles, right? Did they throw the ball effectively? No. Zach Wilson had 81 passing yards. Who led the team in receiving yards? Breece Hall at 50. Okay, so we couldn't throw the ball. Did we run the ball effectively? No. Breece Hall had 10 carries, led the team with 23 rushing yards. So we couldn't throw the ball. We couldn't run the ball. How did the offensive line look? Could we protect Zach? Could we protect Tim Boyle? Could we open up holes for the running backs? The answer is no. It was pitiful. The Buffalo Bills went out and mauled the Jets offensive line. They were consistently in the backfield. Leonard Floyd, I felt like, was living in the backfield. Ed Oliver, the offensive line looked like a complete disaster. Just pandemonium, just chaos all around. Are we even practicing? Like, I hate to say this, but are we even practicing? What's the goal for this offense? We have no identity, no vision. We don't try anything new. Oh, Hackett's up in the booth. It's week 11. Putting the offensive coordinator from, being on the field up in the box, that's the change that we're talking about that's really going to ignite everything here. And this is happening in week 11 against a division rival in a quote-unquote must-win game. Okay. And by the way, too, Buffalo's offensive coordinator, they just fired Ken Dorsey. They got a ton of heat for it. Fans, media, everybody, making fun of Buffalo. Dorsey's a young up-and-comer. Why would they fire him? They're top 10 on all these different statistics. They did not settle. They looked at the turnovers. They looked at the record and said, hey, you know what? We can be better. Let's give Joe Brady an opportunity. Let's try to get ahead of the curve here. They parted ways. Joe Brady, the guy who interviewed with the Jets, didn't get the job, goes out there, shows up, and puts up a ton of points on the New York Jets defense. McDermott, Joe Brady were running circles around Robert Saleh and Nathaniel Hackett. It is a joke. It is an embarrassment. And frankly, it's just disgraceful. So we couldn't throw the ball. We couldn't run the ball. Couldn't protect Zach. Couldn't protect Tim. Couldn't open up holes in the running game. How do we do as far as the team stats go, right? Do we get any better on third downs? Let's see. No, we were 0 of 11 on third downs. Okay, one of the biggest struggles, one of the areas or statistics that the Jets are not only just last in football in, but literally the worst team in the National Football League in the last 50 years on third downs. Good thing we're improving with the 0 and 11 metric tonight. The Bills had more first downs, more plays, more yards, more drives, better throwing the ball, better running the ball, less turnovers, more time of possession. Turnovers is another stat. Did the Jets turn the football over? Yes, 4 times. Jets had 4 turnovers tonight. Oh, my Lord, with 155 total yards and 14 first downs. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Again, it feels like the Jets are dead in the water. Every time, like proactive is just not in the Jets' dictionary. It's just not in their attitude. They're always late. Even pulling Zach Wilson, they're down by multiple scores. And you're putting Tim Boyle in a bad situation where the defense is just going to tee off on him. They know he's going to be throwing the football. The Izzy situation, right? Where was he early on? When I'm thinking about this team, and I don't mean to sound over dramatic or anything like that, I understand that the Jets are only 2 games beneath 500. We're 4-6. Technically speaking, we're still in the hunt, but I got to be honest. I have not felt this bad, this poorly. I have not been this negative surrounding a Jets team in years. Right, because at least with the Adam Gase era, people knew what was going to happen eventually. As bad as that sounds, people knew what. Did anybody really envision Adam Gase hoisting the Lombardi Trophy, winning the Super Bowl? No, right. So we knew what we were getting into with the whole Adam Gase situation. But before that, Todd Bowles, of course I was frustrated. Of course I wanted to change the end, but I wasn't this mad. Was not this disappointed. Right, end of the Rex Ryan era, wasn't this mad, wasn't this disappointed. All this regime does is talk, and they talk about the future, and it just doesn't seem like there's any sort of concern about the present moment. It's and this goes for everything, right? Signing a backup quarterback. Oh, let's continue to talk about Aaron Rodgers coming back in December, and when exactly is he going to be hitting practice? Does anybody really want to see Rodgers behind this offensive line at 40 years old, coming off an Achilles injury, which he's trying to come back in record time in just a handful of months? Does anybody really want to see him behind this offensive line? Not me, especially in December, January weather here. So whether it's the Rodgers thing, whether it's bringing in a backup quarterback, it's just I just don't know where we go from here. I truly don't. You know, we're even starting to see the defense crack a little bit. Like Sauce Gardner got torched tonight. You saw Quinnen Williams screaming on the sidelines, just in frustration and anger. And of course, you know, credit Buffalo. They're a good team. They're at home. It was a must-win game for them. So, you know, of course, they deserve some credit here. It's not like the Jets just completely blew it. You know, Joe Brady, that offense, they did their thing. But oh my, I'm at a loss for words, honestly, with this offense. It's just like, you know, we continue to have guys drop the ball. Garrett Wilson was not impressive tonight. Allen Lazard, not impressive tonight. It's like, where is the bright spot? Where is the silver lining? Who are we as an offense? What are we trying to accomplish? It just seems like we're trying to get in and get out. It's kind of reminiscent of like when a lower tier school plays like a top end SEC school, or, you know, one of these, like Ohio State, Alabama, Big Ten, you know, one of those games. You know, like last night I was watching Florida State, Northern Alabama. That's what it feels like. That's the mindset of the Jets offense. It's like, we got to get in and get out. We can't lose the game. We just have to hopefully pick up a first down. If we're lucky, score a touchdown today. Going into the day, the Jets average one touchdown per game. We're not going to win football games when your offense averages one touchdown per game. How many TDs did we get today? One. So it's just a complete disgrace. It's a complete disgrace. Here we are again, wasting another Sunday. Will the Jets do anything to fix it? No, probably not. This, you know, I'm at my wit's end with Hackett. I'm at my wit's end with Saleh, and just the ineptitude, the lack of intensity, the lack of urgency to try to turn the offense around, to try to fix anything. They're fine with it. But the one figurehead in this whole thing that should not be swept under the rug is Joe Douglas. Joe Douglas is this is his roster. Again, in the words of Saleh, they took over the expansion team. He's had years in draft classes and multiple free agents and trades and all these different things. This is the product that he's putting out in the field. He's had years to build this team. And this is what we're seeing. Okay, no depth on the offensive line. We're seeing big money. His big money free agents are pretty much all disappointing across the board offensively. We can talk about Allen Lazard. You know, who would have thought Allen Lazard is going to be like sharing reps with an undrafted free agent in year one of his 4-year, $44 million deal? Or CJ Uzomah, right? Another guy who signed a multi-year deal. Conklin's numbers haven't really been all that great. Laken Tomlinson, one of the highest paid guards in football, not playing so great. Dalvin Cook, not playing so great. What about Mecole Hardman? Oh wait, he's off the team. Why? Because he was traded for a 2025 sixth rounder. Makes sense. Dwayne Brown, not playing. Can practice, but not playing. Making a ton of money. You look at the first round picks, right? Obviously, Becton's hurt. AVT's hurt. Zach Wilson, second overall. Garrett Wilson, you know, for the most part does his thing, but today had a bad game. No urgency, and I've mentioned this in a couple of videos, and I don't want to say it because obviously it's not true, but I feel like I have to say it. Do they value winning? Do they care about winning this year? Or when Rodgers got hurt, did the 17-game season go out the door and everybody can just kick their feet up? Okay, we got a pass. We got a full year pass to kind of just roll out there, and hopefully we look a little bit better. Don't worry, Rodgers is coming back next year. He's got us. He's got us. That's what it seems. That's what it seems like. Because there's no you know, you can say, oh, you know, maybe we could have added a piece at the trade deadline. Oh, we could have signed a veteran quarterback when Rodgers went down. Maybe even signed a veteran quarterback before the season started. And it just seems like the Jets are operating with this like level of arrogance as opposed to, you know, like living in a realistic world. But you know, the fans, no, you guys have to wait. if the offense is going to click at some point, you guys are all crazy. The numbers are crazy. The team rankings are crazy. The eye test is crazy. The other defense that's flat out humiliating Hackett literally on a week-to-week basis. No, everybody's going to see once this offense clicks, we're going to be all good. Well, guess what? It's week 12, and the Jets are 4-6, and the AFC is loaded. We got teams, young rebuilding teams in the AFC, taking off. Jacksonville, Houston. I mean, I can sit here for 15 minutes talking about how great every other team in the AFC is, right? Baltimore, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. You know, obviously Joe Burrow goes down for Cincinnati, but again, Houston, Jacksonville, Buffalo, Miami, they won today. Even with the Raiders losing today against the Dolphins, they're still in a better position than the Jets are. You know, we can talk about all these different teams, too, that have had quarterback issues or adversity thrown their way this season. You know, Cleveland loses Deshaun Watson. He's in and out. There's drama there. They're making it work. DTR here, PJ Walker there. They're making it work. They're getting wins. Anthony Richardson goes down with the Colts. Who steps up? Gardner Minshew. He's winning games for him. He's looking pretty good. Josh Dobbs, Minnesota Vikings. Everybody knows that story. Houston Texans with CJ Stroud. Everybody knows, you know, he's lighting it up. Second overall pick, rookie head coach, rookie offensive coordinator. Ryans comes over from San Francisco, pretty much the same exact setup that the Jets had 2.5 years ago. Why are the Texans better than the Jets when the Jets are 2.5 years into the process? Makes zero sense, unless Stroud is like, you know, the next Joe Montana or something like that. So I'm going to be talking more about it tomorrow. I got to sleep on it. I got to watch these press conferences and, you know, continue to be disappointed. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for sticking around too. You know, I was doing some math before in my head. I feel like I haven't posted a positive video on this channel in the last 3.5 weeks, which sucks. Nobody wants to be, you know, in this position where we're constantly, you know, fans are constantly talking about losses, trying to figure out ways to fix it. It seems like the only people that are having any sort like that are having trouble realizing that the Jets are in a bad spot offensively is the team itself. I mean, it's a talking point on every TV show every single day. Sucks. It absolutely sucks. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Jets.